Hi, I'm Bran, and I love, I don't know, man, Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and homonyms are so confusing.
I'm Alonso, and
this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
Welcome.
boy.
We are all in great spirits today
Yeah,
for
we
Festive
are.
Fridays.
We love a festive Friday.
It's great to be here.
What could go wrong? Chris Palaha, Chevy Chase, Randy Quaid, Brian Posehn, Brian Doyle Murray, all in one movie. This is going to be a home run, gang.
All the big names are going to be on your screen for a long time in this movie. Hi, Alonso. It's great to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Boy, you know, it's one thing for Christmas in July to be over, but it's another thing for this. We'll get into that.
Well, you know what? I guess you owed me. You, after last week, you're welcome. You know, like we had you were in such a good mood last week.
You're like,
you
let
loved the
Bran
movie.
cook, everybody. Let Bran cook.
But you know what? You never know unless you watch it. And now we have watched it.
We kind of knew.
We know.
We're talking the Christmas letter today.
Know.
You may have heard in passing about the Christmas letter last year because Chevy Chase was in a Christmas movie and everybody was like,
with
Randy
Quaid,
and everybody was like, this is a thing. And then you never heard about it once it actually came out. And we are going to find out today if that is for good reason. Dan, how are you today on a festive Friday?
I couldn't be better, Bran. Last night I had to watch a movie in the evening because we're kind of, had a weird schedule.
week. Yes.
And I chose this one, and I've had some time to recover.
Did your wife watch this one with you?
She said, "Go ahead and turn it on. It's fine."
And then how long did she stay in the room?
Not long.
Okay.
She stood up. She stood up to go to bed and looked at me and said, "Our son could make a better movie today."
Well, the good news is it's like you're back season 1 Deck the Hallmark all
You just
over
watched
again.
her leave the room thinking,
Yeah, I was so mad that I couldn't leave the room. She was like doing some embroidery. So she stuck it out for 30 minutes just doing her embroidery and then was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't have to. Nothing in the wedding vows says I got to be here.
Well, we've sold it enough, folks. It's time to try to talk about the Christmas letter. It originally came out on November 12th, 2024, and it went a little something like this. Clive is a fancy man who writes a fancy Christmas newsletter every year to tell people all about the fancy things that he has done this year. And every year, Joe gets this letter, and it just makes him super mad. He goes to talk to his wife and complain about how they never do anything. They're alive, but they're not living.
You said it.
And to make, he's just really upset about this. And we find out that he met Clive in elementary school because Clive was his pen pal. It was immediately clear that they were from different worlds altogether. And to make matters worse, he ends up getting fired from his job the day after he gets this letter. He dreams of having to live on the streets, and he wakes up the next day and does everything in his powers to make that a reality because he cashes out his 401k without talking to his wife first and tells her that they are going to have a real year this year, a year to remember. They're going to ski. They're going to go to the Bahamas. They're going to see Tiger Woods. Up first, a very bizarre sleigh ride. His wife is not thrilled by this, and he caps it off by telling her that they're going to Clive's big birthday bash next summer. The hits keep coming. They go to a fancy place for New Year's Eve, but I guess his suit isn't good enough. This leads to him accidentally pressing or having the button pushed to drop the ball 2.5 hours too early. The movie continues to be Joe and his family just going to different outings and it not being what they thought it was going to be, it being worse, or him not reading everything that he was supposed to read about something. His wife is like, I'm not having fun, but he gaslights her into continuing along with his plan. After many issues, he decides to delete the document that he had been working on about his newsletter. But just as he does this, he gets the new newsletter from Clive, and that inspires him to finish his newsletter. His wife tells him that if he sends the letter, he better not be here anymore. It's not going to be a we anymore. He ends up at a bar where Chris Palaha is, and he gives him the same exact advice that his wife gave him all year. Your life is pretty good. Just enjoy it. No need to lie. And he's like, no one's ever said that to me before. It's Christmas Day, and we see his wife getting a lot of calls about how amazing their Christmas card is. She's very confused. She knows about the Christmas card that he was working on. No one will be calling and saying it's amazing. And so she finally goes out. She gets the newsletter. She reads it, and it's about, hey, I didn't do all these amazing things, but I still have an amazing life. He shows up, and all is forgiven. They kiss, and I guess that's good times for them. And that, my friends, was the Christmas letter.
We did it.
We did it?
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down here on Take the Hallmark. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're talking about the 2024 Christmas movie, The Christmas Letter, today on Festive Fridays as we continue to journey back through the 2024 movies that we missed. And it's time for the hot take. It is where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back. I'll start with you, Alonso. What'd you think of The Christmas Letter?
So, in the pantheon of movies about Christmas letters, there was that Hallmark one that you guys liked a lot more than I did. There was that Netflix one that none of us liked particularly much.
There is the Christmas card, which is
there's the Christmas card. And when's that going to be on?
I'll look it up.
Okay, please. I need to know. And then there's this. This is down there with the worst, and in a sense, like certainly less watchable than something like Christmas in Carolina.
Yeah,
it is so clunkily thrown together. You have your leading man is apparently a very successful comic in Australia. And his accent,
he wasn't from the United States. Get out of
shocking,
here.
I know. Also, that's not his real hair. Both of which I know you'll find very surprising to learn. That's all just very strange. Words fail me, frankly, because there's a universe in which this movie is about this guy learning about the fact that his life is good and he should appreciate what he has, and that's a very Christmassy kind of message. But instead, it's that this guy is terrible at spending money on things, and that is the message that we're left with here, which is like, well, if you're gonna cash out your 401k to give yourself a year of luxury so that you can then write a Christmas letter about it, read the fine print and don't be cheap about it or you're going to ruin everything. I honestly don't even know that Chevy Chase knows he was in this movie.
I don't think he does.
It feels like they ambushed him somewhere and he just sort of he talked a few
I need
times.
to know how this movie got made
I have always wondered, legitimately, this is a legitimate, I think this movie proved my theory to be wrong, but I always wondered, a lot of these actors that will just take any job if you meet their day rate, right? That's the thing. I always wondered what would happen if you just borrowed the money to meet everyone's day rate and you just shot them all individually and then you put a movie together around them, what would happen? Because I think
that's happened.
But I think that this guy's thesis was, if I meet Chevy's day rate and I meet Randy Quaid's day rate,
right,
and I don't have to put them together, they never are on screen together.
No, and neither of them are on screen with Brian Doyle Murray, who's also in Vacation.
That's right. And I guarantee you, no one was there for more than a day of those three or four people. And Brian Doyle Murray probably was. But Chevy Chase and Randy Quaid, he paid them each for a day, and then he put on his movie box this is the first reunion in a Christmas movie since Christmas Vacation or whatever. Like and he thought that would be enough to sell it. And I'm fascinated if he was right or not, because that is a way to sell a movie without trying to actually make a movie.
We're here. We're talking about it.
Well,
it had some level of, like,
but did he make money? Did he make his money back?
I don't know. Like it didn't get picked up by any real distribution. It didn't get on one of the many made for TV movies that got put out last year. Not one of those that found a home. Didn't do some sort of short theatrical run. Like just nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie's hot garbage, and my life is diminished for having had to watch it.
I really actively dislike this movie.
Good.
To me, here's always been kind of my beef with Christmas Vacation.
Welcome to Brand's Beef.
I've never been a big Christmas Vacation fan, and I've never really grabbed onto the movies where the guy in the movie is an absolute a-hole for 90% and then learns the lesson at the end, the thing that's been told to him the entire movie. Yeah. And this whole movie is, hey, what if we do Christmas Vacation, but where none of the jokes land? None of it's funny. And I do think that whoever wrote this movie or had this idea probably had that in mind, like a kind of like a love letter to Christmas Vacation, like the good old days where the dudes were just, they could do whatever they wanted to, and then at the end all you gotta say is you're sorry and everything's fine. Just a completely unlikable main character. I absolutely despised him, and found the ending apology to be lacking. And I thought Chris was great. Good to see him in the bar.
Yeah, sometimes life lessons just don't land until Chris Palaha
That's
delivers.
true.
Well, you know what? Most believable part of this movie, 100%. It sounds different when it comes out of Chris Palaha's mouth. I did not like this movie. It put me in a bad mood.
I also believed that bar had a rat problem.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%. 100%.
I'm sorry for everything I said about the unicorn movie.
Hey, thank you.
This will go down as one of the worst we've ever reviewed. The worst offense that you can make in these movies is to feel like the movie lasts forever when it isn't forever. It's a 90-minute movie. It feels like it's still going on somewhere. This is also a movie where you are told you need to feel sorry for a Gen Xer with a savings account and a 401k, which is just hysterical. I mean, guys, just try again, first of all. And then he plans an entire year for his family based on poorly understood homonyms and words that rhyme or just kind of look alike. And that year of things that are all planned based on homonyms and words that are similar but not the same or rhyme, I'm not joking. I know it's funny, but this is the bit of this movie. Those are all supposed to be
two different sports legends whose names you misunderstand.
John McEnroe and Tigger Woods. Along with many a dumb. And none of these things work. It is a. I would say a laughless, but there's one thing one of the kids said that I did find funny that will be my feels. It is a virtually laughless 95 minutes. And it doesn't make up for that by being so poorly made. Like there's a boom mic in the shot, or there's John, he's my mentor. And there's nothing so bad that we can just laugh at and have a good time. It's bad to be bad. And I wrote this down. The best performance in this movie is by one Chris Palaha.
Yeah.
Because his name's Barry the bartender. He's just himself. He does the jokes that they want him to do because they're in the script. The jokes aren't funny, but his sage wisdom actually reads authentic compared to everything else in this movie. I don't know what Chevy Chase is doing. I don't know what Randy Quaid is doing. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what Brian Posehn is doing. That had to be like a favor.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't understand. This guy got all of these people together and then had no movie. This movie is insufferable. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Up there with the worst we've ever reviewed here. I hated it.
What would you sit through again? This or A Fireman for Christmas?
Fireman for Christmas.
It's funny,
but also it's shorter. It's funny. If I didn't feel like I was directly giving money directly to like a January 6th fund, I feel like but like, I will be honest and tell you this, and I don't think I've ever done this with a movie. There were 3 times in this movie where I knew it was a montage, and I hit fast forward 10 seconds 3 or 4 times. Legitimately. Like, I was dying. I just couldn't handle it. It was so bad. So yeah, there's that.
Let's get to all the feels. That's where we talk about what this movie gave us feels. Let's start with you, Alonso.
Yeah, my feel is I think the Palaha's day rate and that they he bothered to deliver more than anybody else in this movie.
We got to be near hang out with. We got to hang out with a 90s child star. You and I did.
Okay.
We can't say why or the reason we got to hang out with said 90s child star, but a very famous 90s child star. And this person told us that there was a rule amongst 90s child stars that after all of them had kind of left their fame, but were still trying to make it, if one of them asked you to be in their movie and you could meet their rate, they had a special rate for that, that they would just show up for the movie. And that was the reason that this particular actor did what they did. I got those vibes from Chris. I'm not saying he's necessarily friends with anybody here, but boy, it was a where's the check situation.
It's a Christmas movie agreement.
Yeah.
Between us, Christmas movie stars.
And look, I'm sure. Yeah, you thought, well, look, if I can't get the vacation people in here, the Hallmark folks are going to come running.
Yeah, for sure.
They didn't put Chris Palaha on the cover of this movie.
Sure
that was upsetting.
Dummies.
That would have sold. I will say this: the idea
that might have been part of Palaha's rate, actually.
Yeah, please
you
don't put me
putting me
on
on the poster.
They didn't do this bit very well, but it is a funny idea. A funny idea.
It's funny idea feels from Bran.
The idea
the drawing
of
board.
How it happened doesn't make any sense, but the idea of somebody hitting the New Year's Eve ball drop button too early is a funny idea. Did they do it in a way that makes any sense at all? No, they didn't. But when it happened and we find out that it's 9:30 and everyone's confused, I said, that's a funny idea.
I would question that it's a funny idea. I think maybe if everyone is in Times Square and doesn't literally their phones have been taken and they're just obliterated drunk and the ball drops at 8:15. I guess I could see.
There's a world where it's a funny idea.
There's a world where, oh my God.
Well, it's also implicit is the idea that once it drops, it cannot be picked up again.
Yeah.
Like they can't just go like, oops, sorry, and get a do-over. No. The whole evening's ruined.
And the idea that there aren't clocks everywhere in Times Square.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Cool.
Generally, there's a world where it's a good idea. Dan, you got nothing?
There is one scene in this movie that I think the idea is funny and the execution is funny adjacent.
Okay.
He books all this stuff, and one thing he books is a private golf clinic with Tiger Woods. He believes that this is a misprint and that they're actually going to get a private golf lesson from Tiger Woods. And he's like, yeah, it's just a typo in the thing. It's so stupid. But then he goes to his son, who's going to take this lesson with him. He's like, you excited tomorrow for Tiger Woods? And he's like, not really. And he's like, Tiger Woods, he's a living legend. And his kid's like, but what about all the pills he took? And he's like, yeah, but he's a living. And then he proceeds to, Tiger Woods has had a troubled past, gang. As someone who's a huge Tiger Woods fan and has no excuse, aside from I grew up watching the guy play golf, no excuse to pull for this guy. By all accounts, a terrible human being. And this kid proceeds to rattle off all of the trouble and things that Tiger Woods has done. And his dad keeps going, but he's still great. That's funny. That's a funny thing where we are people my age that love golf and love Tiger Woods, like literally cried when he won the Masters in 2019. Not proud of it, but did it happen? You bet it happened. This is funny. It's funny to listen to the kid go, hey, Dad, maybe your love of this grown man that plays golf is problematic. That's funny. That's funny.
It brings up the thing about the waitress. Yeah. I mean, that is
all of it. Like what about the car? Like his wife
crashed the car.
He was only going 5 miles an hour. Like it was a really funny scene. And I couldn't believe it was in this movie that it was 94 minutes of just no laughs. And then one scene that did
poor
work.
Tiger Woods puts on this movie thinking he's going to get a Christmas vacation reunion. And
that's right. Can you imagine Tiger Woods watching this movie long enough to get to the scene where he was ridiculed?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I don't think anyone did.
It's kind of coming at that point.
Yeah.
100%. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to the Wait What and the What the Hallmark here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Bye-bye, we're back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're talking about the Christmas letter. It's time for the Wait What. It's where we talk about what this movie is going. What? I'll start with you, Alonso.
I realize philosophically that the idea of the Wait What section is already giving the movie a lot of credit.
You're so right.
It comes from a place that, like, well, some of this makes sense, but can we point to you these things that
here
don't?
are the moments that don't make sense in this movie. This should be a not Wait What segment. This should be the moments that do make sense.
Yeah, this movie is just sort of floating above the realm of like narrative cohesion. That to have a Wait What section, I think almost sort of it's like counting the notes in a symphony, you know. That's all there is Wait What. But yeah, I mean,
I love how on the DVD box, if you turn the DVD box over, it says floats above the realm of narrative cohesion, Alonso Duralde. It's crazy. You didn't turn it over. That's what it said on the back of the box.
You know, you think there's going to be a DVD of this? It's hilarious.
I want you to cover it in the physical media column so badly.
Yeah, I mean, I show me something that does make sense in this movie, because literally from everything from like the job he gets fired from and how he gets fired from it, the attempt to sort of have a through line with the character who's losing his house but is philosophical about it, to all of the, as Dan says, the homonym whoopsie doos, and that his wife just doesn't like throw him to the ground and like, you know, commit him when he decides to cash out his 401k so that they can do a year's worth of stuff to have a good Christmas letter to stick it to the British guy. To the British guy himself, who never learns anything or accomplishes anything or serves any real purpose in the narrative.
The biggest Wait What of this is I thought it was all leading to them going over to England.
That's one of mine.
Yes.
And it's not. He doesn't have any of
He
that
says
stuff.
it. Hey, we're going next year.
It's
Bono's going to
crazy.
be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie is all just what?
Yes.
There's no waiting.
No,
That
it's
is-
all wutting. No
that is
waiting.
true.
Yeah.
That
Fair.
is true.
Fair.
I didn't see the 401k thing coming for a lot of reasons. One, he wouldn't do it, all that, but it was so jarring after having a dream about losing everything and living on the street. To him walking out, it's the very next, he
It
wakes
doesn't
up.
play in the real world at
He
all.
wakes up from a dream where after losing his job, he lives on the street. He walks out of his bedroom and he says, I cashed out my 401k. And I didn't see it coming. And I don't know how he got there based. A lot of people lose their job, have that dream, and then make other arrangements
That's
to
right.
make sure
Act
that
accordingly.
And
Yeah.
he said,
Double down.
It's a prophecy.
Yep.
I have to go ahead and help
But at
this.
least he had, like, that's my thing is like, he had one.
He had one.
He had that much retirement to do this. And it's like, you were stupid. How did, like,
Yeah.
where'd we go wrong? Where dumb people have that, like, that's not the case anymore.
Yeah. He was decorating the tree while it was rotating, which I said out loud. That doesn't seem wise. But you know, what can you do?
If I heard one more ornament break, I was going to lose
there
my
was a lot going on there.
ever-loving
Oh,
mind.
God, that goes on and on. And I
And I
guess
don't
every
even know
single
how
one is
it.
glass.
I don't even really know how it. Like it was spinning slow, and then suddenly, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the fact that he was decorating it while it was rotating. Somehow it just goes out of
finally
control.
I hit mute. I was so mad that I kept hearing that sound over and over again. It was clearly the same sound over and over again. I just hit mute.
Apparently, the guy with the ukulele only plays Jingle Bells because he says, "Don't you ever get sick of playing that song?" Is the only, which I'm actually on that guy's side. Like, if you're gonna be the guy in the office that plays ukulele, like I'm fine with that. But
You're on the side of the guy that plays ukulele.
No. I'm on the side of him because you can't just do Jingle Bells.
No.
you have to diversify your ukulele catalog. Why is the Times Square ball drop button inside of this restaurant on a table? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I want to be very
Why?
clear. Guys, if you're listening at home, please don't watch the movie. The button to start the ball drop for the new year is in the dance hall of the French restaurant owned by Chevy Chase on a table waist high.
Yep. No, like rope around it. It's
There's
not some sort of glass case.
Not a lid, nothing.
A wireless button in the dance hall in the French restaurant owned by Chevy Chase at a table waist high.
Guys, I don't know what of this you're not getting. It's pretty clear, pretty cut and dry.
That is why it's all what? No weights.
That's right. Yeah, and then I was also, as you mentioned it, Alonso, but this guy who is like super chill about his house burning down was so weird and had no payoff. Like I thought this is on me. I thought a lot of stuff was leading to something, and none of it led to anything. And that was my fault. I did this to myself. I thought there was going to be payoff, and there was no payoff for anything. And the biggest one is they don't go to the party. The whole thing.
That's brutal.
I
thought for sure
we're going to the
England.
party.
Yes.
Bono's going to be playing the birthday party. We're going, and then next thing you know, it's next Christmas. It's crazy. Dano?
I think notes. Wait, what's like notes in a counting the notes in a symphony is my favorite thing from this. That was really well done, Alonso. They are at a French restaurant owned by Chevy Chase. It's fine. Don't worry about it. They don't have any money to eat because he had to rent a tux. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And then they look around and all of the guests are receiving what amounts to those like those gift bags that the presenters and everyone like the Oscars get.
Swag bags.
So like for coming to this restaurant, you get a Rolex. So there's a whole thing where they steal a goodie bag because he didn't give them one because they don't have money to eat. Whatever. And they steal a goodie bag. And once again, shame on me for thinking the movie's supposed to make sense. I'm like, okay, they got away with that goodie bag. This Rolex going to help them recoup some money. What's a Rolex go for? 10 grand? I don't know. It's got to be in the high single thousands, if not $10,000, $15,000. He stole it to wear the Rolex. He didn't steal it because they needed money, because they don't have any. He stole it to wear on his wrist. That is absurd. That's crazy. Even in a movie full of crazy, that's crazy. They do keep getting calls from this pen pal guy thinking that it's leading to something. And one of them is he's in the Mediterranean Sea on a boat speaking as clear as crystal. And he says, the cell signal's not great out here on the Med. I couldn't book a table at this restaurant. It sounds pretty good on this transcontinental phone call. It sounds pretty clear. It sounds like it's doing okay. Maybe you need to check the other things there, plug it, unplug it, plug it back in, because in this phone call that spans tens of thousands of miles, you nailed it. I mean, can you hear me now? Yes, I can. Like you can. 75-year-old Randy Quaid's getting a vasectomy. Hysterical.
Waka waka.
So funny. Man, the laughs that we had over Randy Quaid talking about a vasectomy. Woo, boy. That wouldn't have been funny 20 years ago. When did Independence Day come out? That's the last time that would have been funny. What is it, 30 years?
Almost 30 years
96,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
The one wait what that I do have that I think we have to call out, because there's other wait whats that I'm going to get to in a second. After his wife says, if you send that letter out, I'm going to leave you. And then he has to think about it. She's like, if you send this letter out, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you. We're going to break up this family. He's like, let me go on a drive and think it through to see what my priorities are. He leaves in the morning and he
run it by Palaha.
Yeah. Well, he drives around until nighttime. So that's a lot of driving. And then he parks in what I can only describe as not a parking lot. He pulls in, and you need to go look this. You take it to the tape. Don't watch this movie. Take it to the tape. There are 5 cars parked, and he parks to where none of them could get out. He literally just pulls in between these 5 cars. They're all pinned in by a wall in his car, and he just puts it in park, keeps the headlights on, and walks inside. There is no way that he has trapped 5 other cars there, and they're stuck there until he's done having a heart-to-heart with Chris Palaha. That is true.
And with any luck, his battery will die because he left the lights on.
He let the lights on. That's right. Then he goes in to talk to Chris Palaha. Palaha comes over and goes, what can I get you? He says, a craft beer. Palaha says, we don't have it. Pla actually says the closest I can get to a craft beer is this. Can you imagine a bar that didn't have you know what's considered a craft beer? Sam Adams. Guys, if you I get it. It's a very vague request, but for a bar to have listen, in college, there was a dive bar that served underage kids. All they had was Budweiser, Bud Light on bottle. That's all they had. If you go to a bar that has draft beer, they have a craft beer. They have one.
What's great about
Can I get a craft beer? No, you certainly cannot. I'm sorry. We can't do it. We can't do it here at this establishment. There's no way. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say what's great about this line is so much of Palaha, since he was the only one that showed up and tried, felt as if he was riffing. And part of me wonders if that was just him playing.
Oh, no.
Like, just him, can I have a craft beer? And I'm like, I don't know. But I would not be surprised if Chris Paul is just trying to play.
Yeah, coming right up. It takes the same amount of time.
Yeah, but it's just he's going to wrinkle that page.
And he's going to wrinkle the page.
Is that the line? Really? Okay. I guess I'm going to yes and it.
I'm going to yes and it. Two other quick ones. They do skip a full year, and on Christmas Day the next year, kids have an age today, and the mail is delivered.
Yeah.
The kids have an age today, and I know this, having children, you look from Christmas to Christmas, you'll get real sad in a hurry about your kids growing up.
We got a book for you.
But not as sad as the poor post office workers who are delivering Christmas cards on the day of the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's
Do you
all I
think
got.
he put it in his own mailbox? Like that was how he.
It had a stamp and a thing over the stamp that had been processed by the post office.
And people are calling, so they were getting theirs,
everybody got it on Christmas Day.
First thing Christmas morning is you can not only get the mail, open the mail, read the card.
To that point, the other way what of this movie is this is the most I don't know, unimportant Christmas days are in this movie. Two of them. Both times it's Christmas Day in this movie, I'm surprised to find that it is Christmas Day.
No build up or anything.
No build up. You have no idea. They could have made it any day around Christmas.
They could have made it any day.
But both times it's Christmas, they make a point to tell you that it's Christmas Day, and both times I said, "Oh wow,
I will say,
I didn't know."
It's a modern marvel of our United States postal system that this guy goes home Christmas Eve night after a few beers and at 10 p.m. decides to rewrite the whole letter and has it distributed across the country and the world by Christmas morning.
Yeah,
true.
If Santa's not real, then how you like me now?
Explain that one.
Prove me wrong. You know what I mean?
You get it. It's time for what the hallmark is. Where we wonder what could have been. Maybe having us clear any questions we still have. What are we still wondering about? I'll start with you, Alonso.
Oh my God. Does he get another job? I hope. Come on, man. You have a family to raise, and you're frittering their heritage out on nonsense. Come on, go crawl back to the terrible office or get a new gig. Something, dude. Come through.
Can I? Mine is piggybacks on
go
that
ahead,
one. Can
yeah.
I go ahead? My what the hallmark is. When does his wife finally leave him, and is it when he refuses to accept government assistance? That is mine. She sticks with him through all of it, the thick and the thin, all of it. And then when they do qualify for some unemployment and some SNAP and some things that are there to help get you by, he says, "I'm not taking any money from the government," and she walks out with her children. That's the movie that I kind of want to see.
Certainly is possible.
Yeah.
Mine does go back to Chris Palaha, who continued to have a conversation with someone off screen that would just kind of talk to him, would kind of pipe in. And I don't remember how it came up, but somebody invented anti-skid mark underwear. And Chris Palaha is talking about this, and someone off screen says, "Didn't work." And Palaha looks over at him. He's like, "It didn't work, did it?" Another thing that I feel like
that's
Chris could have just done it, and then they had to add the ADR. He's making people's jobs harder, which is fantastic. Yeah. Didn't work, did it? But what was that? What was that about?
I didn't have the heart. Somebody in the chat asked if we asked Chris about this movie. I talked to Chris about most of the work I see him in, honestly and candidly, and he and I have great conversations. I have not brought this up to him, and I will only do it in person. I don't want any
Fair.
paper trail. I will ask in person, and I would get, I'm sure, one of the best stories you've ever heard because that's all Chris tells.
Also,
So,
isn't there some part when the guy's at the bar and he's complaining about his wife, and Pla just goes, wives, and everybody in the bar is going, wives, like
Yes.
it's a toast.
Weird thing. Weird movie all around.
the
All
streets
around.
okay?
We did it, everybody. Congratulations to us. Guess what? There's still more. There is more 2024 movies that we have not got to.
That was not the bottom of the barrel.
That was not the bottom of the barrel.
crazy.
Next week, we're heading to across the pond to the UK for a Prime original movie. It's got the Prime
Okay.
logo on it and everything. Christmas in Lagos is
Okay.
the name of this movie.
Okay.
I just looked it up. It is 2 hours.
What the? Are you serious?
And so I want to go ahead and I want to apologize to you guys ahead of time.
Gotta start
and
watching now, I
Go
guess.
ahead and start watching it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in Lagos. Join us for that next week. Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmarks of Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.